Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, July 4th. Happy Independence Day, I guess, to our friends in the U.S. What do you call it? Happily July 4th is what most people say now, right?
Independence Day, I believe. 4th of July. Yeah, happy 4th of July. Of course.
All right. Anybody doing anything
Fireworks.
special?
I'm driving. I'm on the road. I'm out of here. Yeah.
Where are you going?
Heading up as far away from their neighbors to the south. I'm driving up to Johnston Park Lodge for 4 days away with my family. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
With the boys too?
So it's 4 days away with it's all the Plank boys. So it's my two sons and my dad and me.
Awesome. Have fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
I'll be writing offers on all the properties.
I'm leaving, and I literally have like 4 people wanting to write offers this weekend. And so Josh, my business partner, is going to be very busy. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get started. We have our half-year update. So we're going to review what's been going on and then look towards where we're going to be going. This has been an interesting, I did a market analysis yesterday and just discussing with people what's going on. You're creaky today, Andrew.
It's my chair, I think.
Yeah. All right, you guys. If you like this show, please like it, subscribe to us, and comment. And if you have anybody who you may think be interested, please share it with them as well. Okay, Andrew, last 7 days. But
last 7 days. So today is July 4th, and 262 properties went on the market in the last 7 days. 137 pending. 152 price decreases. Again, lots of people are decreasing their prices out there. 5 increases, 5 back on market. 343 transacted, 155 expired. Quite a lot more expired than last week. But again, that's because agents tend to, for whatever reason, put their expiry dates around like mid-month and beginning of the month. So compared to last week, we have less new listings. We had 328. We have less pendings. Last time we had 143. And actually less price decreases. Last time we had 163. So everything's a little bit down in terms of that activity, but the market itself, obviously, if I've got 4 people writing, I think people are starting to I think we're going to see some changes soon to the stats.
So we went from 43% to 52% list to sale ratio over the week, which says to be partially because a lot less listings went on the market. So that's a good thing. One of the issues right now is we just have a lot more choice than we've had in the past. So there's if you have more choice, people take more time to think.
Yeah, which is funny because all of the going, Leo was talking about this, the guy who does House Hunt Victoria website, and he does some stats for us. And a number of people always say, and all the people in investing say, when people are afraid to buy is the best time to buy. When there's all this selection, this is a good time. This is when people should be buying. But I don't know about you. I know about you. But whenever it is so much selection that you have great choice for people, they don't buy. When there's very limited choice and prices are going up, they're like, give me more, I want to buy. And it's like, oh, now is a great time. Now is a good time. Does it mean that tomorrow prices will be up? No, they could even be down, but you have the choice of the property that you like. You can actually go out and choose a property that you really like and that works for you and has the location you want in a price point that's reasonable, because it's going to definitely be more reasonable than in 3 to 5 years.
I had a buyer who was thinking of rescinding on an offer. We were looking at properties and they wanted a very specific type of backyard. So when they said life circumstances were kind of getting in the way. So anyway, but what we did was an analysis of all the properties in the neighborhood that they were interested in, and we were able to determine that this was, in fact, a very unique property. So it was a missed opportunity. They ended up going forward. Yeah. If they
good.
ended, it would have been bad news. Anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good for everybody.
All right. So over the past week, we had a summary as of the end of June on July 2nd. So there were 661 net unconditional sales for June of 2024. That's down from 705 in June of 2023. So over that last week, we had a number of sales complete, so 150 about. New listings were at 1,496 for June. That's more than we had in some months during COVID. And net new listings are at total active listing 3,460, and this is up over last year where we were at 2,342. So we're up about 30% in the number of listings. We're almost getting to what we had when we started in real estate in 2006. Oh, so funny.
Interesting.
All right. So let's, do you have any comments, Jen?
I'm just interested to see if future rate drops really have an effect on this. But it will.
They will. Yeah.
But we're just waiting.
Okay. Well, we're now good segue. So what's going on in your world? Any new product?
Well, I'm definitely seeing a lot more inquiries about refinancing. People are coming out of the woodwork unhappy about their current financial situation. Just feeling the stress of higher interest rates and higher living expenses over the last year to 2 years. And so I'm looking at a lot of refinances. So I've been busy working on figures for a lot of people.
How many are a lot of people going forward with that kind of thing? Is it making sense for them to do it?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It as people, tied to that, we've got such a high percentage. So many people's mortgages are coming up for renewal over, now going into the next 2025, that it is making sense. People are at the end of their terms and needing to consolidate debts or setting up a line of credit until their mortgage is up for renewal.
Right.
So doing something in the interim.
Jen, I heard a stat recently, and maybe you've heard it too. It was something to the effect of, I think, for every dollar, it had something to do with the dollars of the Canadians are owing. For every dollar in equity, there's like $1.75 in owed money or something like that. Do you know the one I'm talking about? I hope.
In the States, I think I've seen that. Is that what you're?
Okay. I thought it was Canadian. It was referred to as a Canadian one, but it's, apparently we are, we have a very heavy debt load here in Canada right now.
Yes. Yeah. Because it's interesting when I see people's like car loans, for example. You go and you get a car loan, that payment can easily be $800 a month. And that used to be a mortgage payment. And it's,
right.
You don't have to provide income documents or anything to get that car loan. And the effect of that car loan in a year is then, people then get credit card debt, et cetera. So definitely seeing the effect, and it's been challenging and chatting with people, and I just make sure I let them know they're not alone, and I'm having this conversation with a lot of people that are really feeling the pinch right now.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good to know, and thank you. Yeah.
All right, so let's go and look at the total active listings. So over the past 2 years, about 2 years ago, we were just above 2,000. And I was interested in my head, I was thinking it'd be really cool to see a 20-year review of what the market's been doing in terms of numbers. So we're up over 3,400, and this has been the highest where we've been. There are seasonal, of course, fluctuations, and we're getting to what is normally the top of the market in terms of numbers for the year. So this isn't unexpected, but still higher than normal. And Andrew, want to talk about this?
Andrew, yeah, so what have we got here? I have to put on my glasses. Oh, good. Old man looking at the camera. So what we've got here is the total MLS listings versus sales for the district. So the line is the sales, listings as the bar graphs. And yeah, you know, we are, if you look at May 2024, you can see we reached kind of the peak for the year of 2024. At least the current peak for the year of 2024, the most listings on market for that month of all the months so far and so far past, and the most number of sales. And now we look like we're going down. And as you can see, if you look at the past years, this is a seasonal event. We tend to find that these things sort of ramp up for spring and then start to go down again. So it's not surprising to see that dip. And as we continue on into the future months, we're going to see that sort of probably follow the same trend as those past years.
What's interesting is in the bar graphs here, you see we have a spring market and a fall market, and we kind of had a delay, I feel, this year in our spring market, in the number of activity that we had. So previously you used to have a really good chance of selling if you listed in January or February. This year it's been pretty steady, the average maybe like 30%. So we're really in, we're actually going to see that on the next graph. We're going to see that over the past few months, it's been fairly steady around 30% list to sale ratio. So we've been at the bottom of a seller's market, on the cusp of a balanced market, and now we're moving more into a buyer's market as we have more listings come online. Would you agree?
I definitely feel that way. Yeah.
Okay.
The numbers never lie.
That being said, it's very segmented for market, right? So houses under $1 million, really hot. Multiple offers for anything decent, especially if it's got a suite. And then, you know, condos downtown, you know, tumbleweeds. So it's definitely market segmented. And there's certain areas where there's a lot of heat, and there's other areas that it's just not as much happening.
Yeah, I think if you're looking for a house with a suite under 1.2, you're going to see a lot of activity.
I kind of feel too, I mean, generally we see this when the market is really tight, people start looking further afield to where their money goes farther, and there's more selection. So historically, if people have started looking for a house in the downtown core, in the core areas, and then decide, well, I'm not finding it, so I'm going to go look in Langford, Colwood area. I'm not finding it there, I'm going to go look in Sioux or Duncan, right? And so people start to go out into those markets, and those markets start to heat up.
Yep.
Yeah. But I think because we have a lot of selection now, those markets are a little bit less. Yes, they're compressing a bit. They're not as active. So you're going to find with this higher selectivity, the downtown market or the core market, I'm not talking downtown Victoria, but core areas of Saanich and Oak Bay and Esquimalt and Victoria, they're the ones that they're going to continue to have heat on them. Whereas the West Shore, a little bit less. It's still good out there. It's a great place to live.
Yeah. So the way I explain it is, it's kind of like a flame. So you have the flame close to the center of town, and then it goes out and up. And right now, it's actually, because it's compressing from the top down as well, it's a good time to move up the market, because you're going to get the gap lessening as the prices come down. So they'll come down from the top down. And then when the market rebounds, you're going to have that much more equity. So you buy now, and then when the market rebounds, your value is going to go up exponentially. So it's a good time to actually trade up in the market.
You're talking about buying in the centers though, right? So this is where
Wherever.
Well, again, I think that if there's more pressure, there's always more compression. Like talking about flame, but I think maybe like it's that pressure that causes it makes the diamond. You know, in town the pressure is there. Out of town, there's less pressure. So when more buyers do come into the fold, that's where the prices go up most quickly. Is in those centers where there's more chance of pressure.
So it's interesting what you're talking about, submarkets. I'm used the term a few weeks ago. I can't remember it. But anyway, I've been watching the market in Mill Bay because I've had a listing there this year and another listing's coming up. And there's this very specific house that is attracting a very specific buyer. So all the people who have kids going to the private schools up there, and under 1.5, we're seeing a lot of activity. Over 1.5, we're not. But those houses are like selling quickly. It's really interesting, considering, I know what you're saying. And I've had a client who moved from downtown Victoria to the Highlands a number of years ago. And I said, the value of your house is going to increase more in the city than it will in the country, which was the reverse during COVID. So
right.
I don't know. I don't know. We assume we know. We don't know. Who knows? Okay. Looking at the market over the past 2 years. 2 years ago, we were at 1.35. We peaked just above that about a year ago, and we're down now around 1.25. So the market, as I explained to somebody, it didn't pop. It went. It exhaled.
Yeah, sometimes you can poke a balloon and it just goes boop, and sometimes you poke it and it just slowly leaks the air. This is not, this graph is not moving around a significant amount. Yes, there was, some ups and downs here, but overall, it's a pretty flat, maybe almost a slightly up, even though we're down over month, May to June. But it's been coming up since January overall.
In the last 6 months, a little bit. Yeah. Maybe like a couple of percentage points.
And I just anticipate with the interest rates being, expected, speaking of bursting, like poking bubbles, interest rates keep letting a little bit of, I don't know if it's air out, but it's bringing more it's going to be bringing more buyers in to the area so that's where I think that this number is going to continue to go up, but not significantly.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of, would you agree, Jen, there's a lot of pessimism about interest rates
Uncertainty.
right now.
Yeah. It's been a horrible 4 years. It was great when interest rates dropped 1.5% in 6 weeks. And that's the last time we had a really late a summer market after COVID or during COVID. And people are very uncertain and not trusting what's going to happen.
Right.
Well, and that's totally reasonable given that, we keep getting messages that, okay, interest rates aren't going to go up more, and then they were going up, and they're not going to go up more, and then they were going up. We were hearing that, and now we're been expecting interest rates to be going down, and we're like, okay, they're going to go down by a certain amount by in the next year, and then we're hearing, okay, well maybe we need to rethink that, and it might not be quite as much as we thought, and so this slow we thought maybe this would be a much quicker return, and not that we're returning because there's no normal here, but return to what we had recently. And we're not.
Well, one of the issues though is that when they calculate inflation going up or down, they calculate interest rates going up or down.
Shelter costs, and shelter costs are the biggest piece of inflation.
Yeah.
So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. It's a lose-lose situation, I feel like, right now.
All right. Well, let's go on to condos. Condos are more exciting. Not. They're flat as well. I've been watching the condo market for a client downtown who we're thinking of when we're going to put it on the market. And it's, I think there were 25 comparables and 3 have sold. And their comment was, oh, there's some movement. There's not a lot of movement there. So the condo market has taken a bit of a dive because of the changing rules. There's been an influx of short-term rental condos coming on the market, competing with our regular, air quotes, condos. So this has flattened out the market. Generally, those condos the short-term rental condos used to lift the market up because they were a great source of revenue. And of course, now that's gone away. So.
Yeah, there was a market for those. That market has disappeared. People paid a premium for those. They are now actually probably, and people aren't ready to sell for this, but they're actually worth less than a standard condo in some ways. Like, for example, the stuff in Janyan, nobody wants to live in 100 and whatever square foot unit. So you're not buying that and paying a premium. So it's really going to shift. It's really shifting the market and the demand.
Yeah, and just in terms of numbers, 2 years ago, we were between 650 and 600, and now we're under 600 to about 575. So, alrighty, row townhomes, Andrew.
Yeah, so I mean, again, this jumps around a lot more because there's more variety in pricing on townhomes, age, size, so forth. What is a townhouse? But that being said, if you sort of take out the dips and the bumps, we've been relatively steady around the $800,000 average. And we kind of reached back to that point. But, there was a point where early on we were up almost at 950 average price. And there's been lower points like January 2023 where the average was almost, just over 650. That's quite a spread. But again, it's sort of sticking around that 800 point. And again, it really is dependent on, what's on offer that month for townhouses.
Yeah. And speaking of which, I have a townhouse or condo. I don't know how you characterize it, but it's a walkout. It actually does qualify as either on Vancouver, which is a great deal. Anyway, 700 square feet. All right. This is one of my favorites here.
Go, girl.
Okay, so looking at single family in Greater Victoria, there are 325 units sold sold in June of 2024, and this is up a 5.5% over last year. The average is single family homes 1271.792, and this is down 4.8% over last month, and pretty much even with last year. The median's at 1,176,500. When I see a median less than the average, to me, it points that the market's going down. I don't know. Last month, we were at an average of 1,336,000. For May, and then in June, 1,274,000. So there we go. I'm right. Condos, 202 sold in June of 2024. I can't do this today. Average was 586,000. That's down 4.4% over last month and down 12.1% over last year. So exactly what we were saying, Andrew, that the market is deflated. I'll just hop over to last month. We were at 613, so definitely down. And last year, our average was 668. So almost $100,000 decrease. Row townhomes, 81 sold. The average was 793,000 for June of 2024. That's down 5.2% over last month and down 5.1% over last year. So the average for May was 836,000. The average for June was 836,000 overall. Interesting in 2023. And that's about it. That's all I want to focus on this. So interesting, though, condos specifically have been hit pretty hard. Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, okay. Totally makes sense. So any other issues you guys want to talk about in the market that you're noticing?
Well, as I said, my phone's been blowing up. Lots of people calling, lots of people wanting to buy and make offers. Things are starting to happen for me, and I assume it's happening for others as well in the marketplace. But definitely, like I was out showing condos last week, and of the condos I was trying to show, half were under contract, and so that's been a change. And again, we were just saying that condo market's slow, and yet for that segment of the condo market, when and my clients were like, well, the condo market's slow. And I was like, yes, it is, but we can only see half of these properties because they're all under contract. So something's happening right now.
Were they 2-bed, 2 baths?
Yeah, they were. And that's definitely a really hot marketplace. I mean, let's not say hot, but it's one of the more desirable segments.
Yeah.
So 2-bed, 1 bath, folks. A lot of people want 2 baths. 1 bed is just, the difference in price you pay between a 1 bed and a 2 beds just is much better value for the difference you'd be paying. So,
and the reason why they want it is because they want a roommate. They want some supplementary income, I think. Usually.
Or space, or if you've got a little more money, you want space for guests, or you want an office, or all these things. There's a lot of reasons why you would want 2 beds, and then the 2 baths thing as well. A lot of people don't want to. They want their own private bath plus the public bath that they can keep their bath. They can keep their bath dirty.
One thing that I've noticed as a trend is the poly B is starting to come up more and more. So we're seeing plastic piping from the 90s that's now insurers are starting to demand that something be done about it. So there are a number of condos downtown that have poly B that and the issues with them is that they spring a leak sometimes. So
what's interesting about that, and what I'm still not even clear about, because I've been hearing, I haven't personally had this experience where the insurer has had an issue with poly B recently, and I've certainly sold, and I'm thinking of a townhouse complex that every townhouse in there was built with poly B. That's insured, and the insurance is over the building. Strata has insurance. It's not individual owners that have insurance on that particular poly B. It's a strata insurance issue. So why aren't more strata starting to deal with this and look at it from a strata perspective?
So I think they are, because what happens is the amount of money that you have to put down when you have to make a claim is higher, and it's becoming untenable for some people, and they're getting insurance on the insurance deductible.
Yeah.
So that's why. If you have $100,000 insurance deductible for in case you're poly B.
What was that?
Sorry, I have a tail. My cat.
In case you're poly B. Okay.
That's awesome.
So if you're higher up in the building as well, and the poly B bursts, I'm not even going to look at Andrew. You were more likely to have a higher insurance deductible. Just so you know. Okay, I think we're done for now. Why don't you go and have a great holiday?
Thank you.
Okay.
I will see you guys next week, and thanks everybody for watching. And I'm sorry my mind's been half here because I'm ready to get on the road.
That's okay. Andrew, how do
Enjoy
people
your
reach
holiday.
you?
Thank you guys. Thank you.
How do people reach you?
Yeah, reach out next week. I'm at 250-360-6106, and info@andrewplank.com is the email, and the website andrewplank.com will get all kinds of good information and also have contact links as well. You can follow me on Instagram under PlankAndrew, and even check me out and friend me on Facebook if we've had interactions in the past. If I don't know you, I won't friend you though.
Okay, Jen.
I am at 250-217-4925. My email is jen@jenlo.ca, and website jenlo.ca.
Awesome. If you want to reach me, I'm Jane Johnston with the Briar Hill Group. My number is 250-744-0775. My email is briarhillgroup@gmail.com. please visit me at briarhillgroup.com. We have a new team member, Sean Provencher. He'd love to meet you too. Our show is at victoriarealestateshow.com, and please follow me on Instagram at realtyteacher_Remax Victoria, or our team at Briar Hill Group. All right, you guys, have a great week. We'll see you next week at 9:30. Take care, and may the winds carry your sailboats far.
In the right direction, in the direction we want to go, hopefully.
See you.
I will take that in the most positive way. Thank you.
Okay, have fun.
Bye.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
May your